I decided to venture into the world of Bollywood and I came across a gem, Dil Dhadakne Do. Gosh, what a movie! What a movie! Determined to prove people wrong that Dil Dhadakne Do is a disaster, I decided to watch it completely from a new perspective. And trust me, I couldn't bear the movie for more than 30 minutes. But if I hadn't watched the movie, how would you get the post-mortem critical analysis of Priyanka Chopra and Ranveer Singh starrer? Now, if you watch the film, you would remember that Priyanka's character faces challenges in dealing with her evil and misogynist husband, who is Rahul Bose in the movie. She also has a turbulent relationship with her rich yet regressive family, but through a series of events, she breaks off from the shackles. Towards the end, you would have felt, wow, what a liberating movie.
Oh my God! Wow!
But for a change, have you watched it from the perspective of Aisha's husband Manav? Because if you do, the entire liberating experience turns into a toxic and obnoxious cringe fest. And this is everything that is wrong with Dil Dhadakne Do. So here is Dil Dhadakne Do from Manav's perspective. Hi and welcome. This is TFI English, the National Socio-Political Analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Tribhuvan, and in this video I will tell you why Dil Dhadakne Do is a classic example of what is wrong with modern day Bollywood. Let's begin. A movie directed by Zoya Akhtar and starring an ensemble cast of some big Bollywood stars. One would be forgiven to presuming the movie to be Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara from the one-line description. However, the movie in TFI's firing line today is Dil Dhadakne Do. After riding on the success of Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, Zoya Akhtar decided to take things a notch further. A cruise ship in Mediterranean Sea became the focal point of the movie, with the entire publicity of the movie surrounding this plot device. The story is fairly simple and nothing different from what hasn't been played on the cinema screen hundreds of times before. And while the set pieces are gorgeous, they are not enough to salvage what is a train wreck of a movie. Getting down to brass tracks, unlike the Yellow Page journalist who dubbed the movie as breaking the glass ceiling in the reviews due to its emphasis on feminism and women empowerment, a second viewing makes one wonder if the critics had their blinkers on at the time of penning the review. Anil Kapoor runs a company that is nearing bankruptcy. He's a serial cheater who cheats on his wife, who apparently knows about it but is too weak to confront him and instead chomps on depression pills to drown out her misery. Anil is the epitome of a pervert, and remember this point dearly, for it will be important for the latter part of the review. Anil Kapoor's two children, Aisha, which is played by Priyanka Chopra, and Kabir, which is played by Ranveer Singh, have their own problems, with the former a difficult marriage while the latter is worried sick that his father would sell his precious private jet. Other characters are Farhan Akhtar, who plays the role of a broody, know-it-all investigative journalist, and Anushka Sharma, who is a dancer on the cruise ship and the love interest of Golden Heart, Ranveer Singh. All this is narrated by the family dog Pluto, which incidentally has been dubbed by Amir Khan. The movie is nothing but a farce when it comes to handling a critical subject like feminism. It uses the classic yet stale trope of running into the opposite gender into the ground to make the other gender stand out. There is a reason why there is a growing contempt for feminists across the board. Some radicals of the movement believe that stomping down upon men is what feminism is all about. Moreover, Rahul Bose is painted as the outright villain who controls his wife and is ostensibly an incarnation of Antichrist when it comes to the right of women. While Manav certainly has flawed ideas about feeling superior for doing the bare minimum, it's Priyanka's character that needed some fleshing out. Priyanka Chopra is clearly unhappy with the marriage, still harboring the feelings for her old flame, who is Farhan Akhtar, and yet when her husband wants to have a baby, she refuses to tell him why they cannot conceive. She is secretly popping out contraceptive pills, keeping her husband in the dark. Moreover, Manav is ridiculed for his intellect throughout the movie. For example, in a particular scene, while talking about constellations, also known as Saptarishi, Manav is painted as a weirdo, which presumably shows the moral arc of the creators who just needed an opportunity to strike down the character into a pulp. He is also ridiculed throughout the movie for being a mama's boy. In a particular scene, Farhan Akhtar gives a supposed befitting reply to Rahul Bose by preaching him about feminism and equal rights. The same character later forms a major reason for the acrimonious divorce of the couple. Talk about the white knight trying to earn the good boy points by talking up a woman only for his own benefit. Meanwhile, Ranveer Singh's character openly instigates one of the characters to commit suicide. Even if the dialogue was intended as a comic relief, a topic like suicide could have been handled maturely. Moreover, all throughout the movie, Ranveer's character is nothing but a hollow figure dancing and gulping down alcohol, only fixated on Anushka Sharma and the jet. The movie is truly a waste of Ranveer's potential, and even after a second viewing, it is rather hard to comprehend what his character brought up to the table, other than setting up the final third act. The writers of the movie weave the narrative according to their convenience. Their ideas were muddled, chaotic, abrasive, and at times contradictory. Remember how Anil Kapoor was a pervert who cheated on his wife? By the end of the movie, the writers seemingly forgot about it. Anil Kapoor simply apologized to his wife and is hunky-dory as she forgives him, and they live happily ever after. While Priyanka comes to the supposed systematic patriarchal oppression, her mother, who has a husband openly committing adultery, becomes the good guy. And the movie goes to great lengths to redeem Anil Kapoor's character. Compare this to the character of Manav, and one can understand how the writers were fixated on making a character do the heavy lifting that hypocrisy became the byproduct. As explained earlier, Manav's character is flawed, but he did not cheat on his wife and tried to keep his children in shackles. On the contrary, Manav's wife cheated on him by kissing Sunny, and yet the movie wants us to believe that it's the upper caste, rich, cis-het males that are the problem. A bad marriage does not entail one to cheat on their partner. A bad marriage does not mean you cannot communicate your priorities about things as important as having a kid to your partner. However, the movie certainly has different ideas about what is oppression and how to get away with it. Dil Dhadakne Do is a classic example of what is wrong with modern day Bollywood. The writers have surface level idea of basic word topics, and instead of exploring them in a nuanced manner, they remained fixated using the Bollywood level drama to induce the cringe fest masquerading as a movie. Only if they had clear ideas for their characters, plot points as they had for the production design, which was spectacular, to say the least, the movie could have been tolerable.